Hello, this is Greg from Mystery Honey. This week I had a bit of a scare. I was going through one of my colonies at the mating apiary and I found some dodgy looking cells. Now, what I thought at first was Chalkbrood, and more than likely is Chalkbrood. There are some cells that looked like melted larvae, which is a sign of EFB. I'll show you the video now and you can go and have a look and see the cells yourself. But this gave me a bit of a worry. I went through the rest of the colony and it all looks absolutely spotless and fantastic. It was just this one frame at the very bottom, on the very outside edge, that I saw these cells in. Now, EFB, European foul brood, is a horrible disease. It affects the larvae. It affects the gut. They twist in the cells and they go discoloured and they look really unhealthy and it doesn't look nice at all. This is not the same as American foul brood, which can just destroy colonies. Both EFB and AFB, they require you by law, because this is how serious it is, by law to inform the authorities of it. And what they'll do is they'll come down and they'll inspect themselves and they'll do some tests. If they find that you have AFB, American foul brood, in your hive, they will dig a pit somewhere on the land and they will euthanize all of your bees in that apiary, and they will burn, not just clean or anything, but they will burn the hives, frames and bees in that pit, then they will cover it up. I don't think there's been an outbreak of AFB for a while, but there are quite a few outbreaks of European foul brood. There was a honeybee seller that sold a load of nukes that had European foul brood in, and they all went all over the country. So they caused outbreaks where they went as well. So it was just, it's a really serious thing to find, especially in my nuke building apiary. So what I've done is I've contacted the NBU, sent them pictures and explained what I think might have happened. The NBU inspector, Mark McLaughlin, got in touch almost straight away after I sent the email, and he had a look at the pictures and he listened to what my story was, and he agrees it's more than likely still Chalkbrood. He's told me to keep an eye on it, and if there's any more signs of EFB in that colony, he wants me to get in touch straight away and I'll come and have a look themselves. Now, I've bought an EFB testing kit because I just want to be sure in myself that there's no disease. So when that turns up, hopefully in this week, I'll do a test and I'll do a little video for you guys as well. Because last thing I want to do is hide that I've got EFB in my colonies, especially if I'm going to be selling some nukes. So if it turns out I do have EFB, I won't be selling any nukes this year, I'm afraid. Any sales that I've made, I'll be refunding in full. I do not want a disease that's got into my apiary to be spread anywhere. If the test comes back negative, I'll still be keeping a close eye on that colony. Because I'm very careful when it comes to disease. I change my gloves whenever I go to a new apiary. I have multiple bee suits to the side of me that I change into depending on which apiary I'm at. And I also clean all my hive tools, so that there is a bucket that is full of hive tools and soda solution. I'm very careful with my colonies and I hate the idea of spreading disease anywhere. So I'll still be careful if it turns out to be a negative test, but I'll make sure that I video it and I make sure that you guys can pay attention to it and see how it's done as well. Anyway, more of that later. I hope you enjoy the video and I'll see you next time. So I'm not expecting a lot from these guys because I took a lot of bees and a lot of brood from them, so I'm expecting them to be ticking along, ticking your boo. Let's take this off. So I really go into the bottom box of these ones just because I can usually get a gist of what's going on the top one. But it's been a while, so I fancy giving them a proper look. Oh. So they're filling the whole boxes, so that's good. sometimes they can just fill like half the frames and then move up to the second box, but they're using all of the bottom one. That's good. Give them a bit of a smoke. Chill out. I'll have a look, see what they're doing in this box. So the way a hive is normally comprised is that you've got brood in the middle. Oh, so this has got brood right on the edge. Interesting. So, okay, and we've got a cup here. Is it a queen cup? Yeah, it's just a queen cup. It's fine. But yeah, they've got some brood here. Interesting on the outside frame. So this second to last frame is usually ignored when you've got a double brood area like this one has. Usually have in the middle brood going up directly, like vertically, and then they start to expand sideways once they've done the whole height of the hive. Now they're out here with brood, so if it wasn't to go through that one, I would think that, so they've got a really big brood area to deal with that. But it could be that the queen is just in the bottom box and she's just moving across, doing her own thing. But we'll see. I'm just having a look for eggs. Yeah, there's some eggs in there as well. So we've got proof that there's a queen in here, a mated queen as well, because there's capped brood, capped worker brood. We've got some healthy looking larvae. So that's step one, brood. Looks great. Got some food here, loads of pollen around the edge of that frame there. Loads of pollen around here. And there's nectar here. So that's food sorted. And space, looking at this box here, we've got loads of frames that aren't touched. So we've got all three sorted. Now what we want to do is just make sure that they are happy and healthy now. So done the three main ones. We've checked them out. We've got a yes for them. So now we just want to have an have a little investigation and have a nosy. So there's even more food. A really good frame of pollen there. The back of this is being ignored, so that's fine. The side walls usually do get ignored. So that's a frame of drone brood. Some capped, some not. So we have some. Have some Chalkbrood. There's some Chalkbrood in there now. That is due to the fact that it's I used to hope it's Chalkbrood. So while investigating that Chalkbrood then, I found some cells that I wasn't happy with. So I don't think it is EFB. I am 80% sure it's not EFB, but when it's things like that, you have to do a little investigation. You have to properly look into it and make sure. And what I'll be doing is I'll be taking some photos and of some of the brood I found, and I'll be sending that to the National Bee Unit here and just get a second opinion. So signs of EFB are twisted larvae, discoloured larvae, dead larvae in cells, and melted larvae as well. Now with Chalkbrood, you can get a mummified appearance of bees. So I'll show you what I'm on about. Hang on. So the reason that I'm a bit worried about this frame, I've just done a few toothpick tests. So if you look here, that looks like it's been melted. That larvae there looks melted in the bottom of the cell there. And then you've got some that are actually dead in the cells as well. Now, none of them are discoloured. There's no discoloration in the cells, other than the fact that they've died. So I don't think it's EFB. Plus, I've not seen any of the worker brood like that. So it could be that they have. So there's a drone brood kind of get ignored a lot of the time. If there's worker brood, drones get a bit ignored, and because worker brood is more important to the bees than drone brood. So what could have happened is bees could have moved away from the drone brood because it got particularly cold a few nights ago. Well, it's been cold quite a few nights, to be honest. They could have moved away from the drone brood. The drone brood could have got chilled and died in the cells. And what's happened is that the bees have just started to take them apart and remove the dead bodies, which is what they do. They do something called cannibalization. So they rip them apart and remove them from the hive. So that could just be that I've caught those drones in the middle of them being removed. It could be that they've died from Chalkbrood. I'm not sure, but I've taken photos of it all anyway. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to send that to the NBU, and I'll let you guys know how it comes out. But if you look at the other frames that I've got, go away. So EFB usually means that there's an erratic pattern of cells. That, for the most part, yes, there's some dots, but it's no more than you'd normally see in an older queen. But the cells look healthy. They look like a good colour. The larvae that I'm looking at here, they're all white. They're all perfectly segmented. There's none of those other ones that I've just seen in the drone brood area. So the larvae here look really healthy and really good. So my thoughts, I'll keep going through and I'll keep checking, because that's what you're going to do. If you see any signs you think are disease, you've got to do is you've got to find more evidence. You've got to see if there's any more signs of it anywhere else, because you could just end up having like 1 or 2 cells of EFB, which is not good, but it's still enough to cause problems, especially for an apiary like this one. So I'm going to go through it bit by bit and just check, and then at night time tonight I'll move this hive to my quarantine apiary, because if it has got disease, I do not want it being mixed with any of my other hives. But all of the brood here looks stunning. It looks beautiful. Lovely pearly white, completely segmented. No issues whatsoever. So I very much doubt that this is EFB. But you should always be cautious. Always, always, always be cautious. So what I'm going to do when I finish looking through this hive is I'm going to replace my gloves. I'll usually give them a quick rinse in a solution that I keep my hive tools in anyway, in between hives. But I'll just take them off completely. Swap them out completely, and I'll stick these hive tools. So again, I usually give these a quick dip between hives. But what I'll do is I'll just put them completely in and get some fresh ones out. And that should mean I'm using fresh tools, fresh gloves for this next colony. The last thing you want to do is spread disease. So looking at these other frames, I'm not seeing any disease at all. There's a bit of ball brood. So I've got 1 or 2 cells here where, I'll tell you what, I'll come over to you. Got some cells here which have holes in the cappings. Now that there is a flow on at the moment, so it's going to be very unlikely that's because they didn't have the food to be able to generate the wax. So that generally means that there's a varroa problem if you've got something like that going on. But if you look at the brood all looks healthy. It looks segmented. You can see all the segments. Don't see any dead ones or discoloured. So yeah, I think that drone frame was just ignored at some point. I'm just opening up these cappings that have holes in. Okay, so the larvae is still in the C shape. So if the larvae is still in the C shape, it means it's not old enough to have grown and stretched out to the full length. So that means that they've literally just been closing those up. So I don't think it's bald brood. I think it was that I've just stopped them in the action by doing this inspection, so that's fine. Yeah, there's no twisted looking larvae, no melted larvae, nothing. So I don't think I've got EFB. I'll still check with the NBU, and with cases like that, or cases in the northwest where there's very few cases of EFB, because we're quite good up here. Especially in Merseyside, we kind of stick to ourselves when it comes to nucleus colonies. So it's rare for us to get EFB outbreaks here, just because we don't really move our bees around very much. But because we're in a low danger area, chances are the NBU will pop over and have a nosy. I don't know if they'll allow me to film that. I very much doubt they will. They let me take pictures last time, which is nice. So I might have to do a Facebook thing instead. But we'll see. Some lovely pollen. So we're going to the outside frames now, and there's nothing on these apart from food. A bit of brood there, actually. So the queen's using this whole space. That's pretty cool. This is going to be empty. Yeah, it's empty. Okay. Right. Push these in. Next box. Always remember to smoke yourself, not the bees, when you're getting battered. Right. Oh, this box can go on top now. Hopefully they'll chill out a bit. They're not using this box to its full extent at the moment. We've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seams of bees, so oops. So I don't have to worry too much about them running out of space. And they're filling this with honey. Cleaned up the frames, filling it with honey. Can't complain about that, can you? So there's brood in this one. Looks healthy. Happy. And on this side as well. That's a lovely frame of brood. Quick check for the queen before I shake it off. Look at that, it's beautiful. I don't think there's anything wrong with this hive. I think it's just a bad frame. I think that the bees have left that drone frame to go too cold at one point, and they've died, and then they've just slowly started to pull them out, and the ones that they haven't pulled out yet, they've left to rot in essence. Yeah, I'm not worried that much. I will still get into contact with the NBU, because any signs like that, you just don't want to risk it. And I'll still be cautious with this next hive when I do that. But yeah, I think they're doing great. And this is another perfect frame as well. Eggs in all the cells that are just emerged. Yeah, I'm not worried. I'll let you guys know what the NBU say. but I'm pretty sure it's nothing to be worried about. Right, let's close this up. Right, I need to go get some fresh gloves and change these tools. Back in a sec. Right, so fresh gloves, fresh hive tool. Let's go through this colony. So I have a spare bee suit in the car. I usually keep one spare just in case I do see something like this. It is good practice to change your suits between apiaries. Because that means that if there is any disease at this apiary, you're not transferring any of that to the other ones. So yeah, fresh tool. Lift this up. So this was a dirty honey super that I put in for them to clean. They've done a good job actually. I don't know if you can see that, but they've done a pretty good job of cleaning that up so far. Nice and light comb. They haven't put anything in this one yet, but maybe they have in the middle. Yeah, so there's some nectar and stuff like that in this one, so that's good. So they've started to clean that up quite a lot. Oh, there's definitely weight in it, so they've definitely been putting some honey in it. These are just foundation frames that I put in on the second box to keep them entertained. They haven't touched these yet. Touched this one yet? Oh, so they've touched these ones on the outside. That's good. And they filled these with a bit of nectar. And larvae. There's some lovely larvae here in that area there. Just seeing if I can see any eggs. Yeah, I can see some eggs. So, again, we've done brood. You can see brood. That's heavy. It's over there, so that's food. And I can see that there's lots of space here as well. So the three main things I'm looking for are done. So now what I'm doing is having a nosy to see how they are doing. So some capped brood. Lovely. Looks like all of this is due to be capped like very soon. Lots more eggs. Queen has been on this frame recently. There's more brood as well. Yes, love the frame that. Just because I'm running out of time, because I wasn't expecting to spend so long on that hive there, I may have to do a quick inspection on this one. So I probably won't investigate this top box fully. Probably just do half. Just going to smoke myself because I've got fresh gloves on. I no longer smell a smoke, so I just need to smoke them up again. Oh. There's another frame that's got a load of brood on. Cat brood, that's beautiful. Done a really good job there. That side, freshly emerged, and eggs are already inside those cells, so that's what you want to see. So this queen is using her space quite well. She's waiting, some would say too patiently, for the bees to draw these foundation frames out, which they are doing. And this is full of eggs, so there's loads of eggs in this freshly drawn out foundation. So they haven't even finished it yet, and she's already laying it up. That's incredible. Yeah, this whole frame is laid up completely. And this is just foundation. They've not started on yet. I've got more foundation and more foundation. Have a look at what these outer frames are like. Might do a bit of a rejig to try and get them to... Oh wow, there's loads of eggs in this as well. Cool. So this is going to be a quick inspection. I'm not going to go into the bottom box again, just because I've seen brood, seen food, and I think they're doing quite well. Now, so I'm going to do a full inspection. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, because all this foundation next to each other, can tend to get ignored sometimes when the bees have got too much on. I'm just going to put the foundation frames that are untouched in between drawn out comb. It's better to do this in between brood, because bees really hate foundation right up against brood. So they will draw that out first. So what I'll do is I'll pop you in here. Right, I'm going to take this box off and I'll have a look at that one. It's surprisingly light. So they are in the majority of these frames, apart from these back two here. Back three. Oh yeah. Yeah. So I'm just going to do a little crick. Speed things up a bit. Remember, whenever you're taking a frame out from a very fully stocked hive, always go for the second one, not the end one. So they're not doing anything with that frame though. They're not happy with me in this box, that's for sure. Now I did take a lot of the younger bees out of this, so the ones that are left are the grumpy ones and drones. So yeah, they're not too happy with me, so I'm just going to give them a quick smoke to tell him who's boss. Just say, chill out. There we go. Right, so that is a lovely frame of brood. Eggs, capped brood, lovely. Have a quick look for the queen. Just because it's a bit higgledy-piggledy, I'm going to shake it off and have a look. I thought I saw the queen then. So I'm just going to do a quick shake. Let's have a quick look. So you can see how, I mean by it's like higgledy-piggledy, it's a bit wavy here and there, and it's a bit dodgy. But I'm just having a quick look, see if there's any queen cells. There aren't any. Some lovely cappings. Small patches, but it's fine. She's got a lot of space, and she did have a reduced number of bees. So all those flying bees that I just smoked away from me, they've gone to the entrance and they've come out and gone, oh, the roof's gone again. So, let's smoke them again. Have a look. Freshly emerging bees, or mostly merged, and laid up all in the centre of that. That's brilliant. Yeah, so this queen's awesome. She's a beaut. Right, plonk this in. So look at this one. So this is a full frame of capped brood. Looking great again. Yeah, I'll do one more and then I'll call it quits because I need to crack on. Oops. And I think these guys are doing great. Don't think I need to worry about these ones. Last frame. Pinky promise. Let's have a look. And that's another frame of brood as well. It's a bit darker than normal, but it's because it's on a normal frame and sometimes they just use the wax around them. But yeah, there's no discoloration of larvae. All segmented. All the cells are the same colour. It looks dry. It's another thing. If your cells are looking wet, that's something to worry about. Unless it's honey. If it's honey, then sometimes you get wet cappings. Sometimes you get dry cappings. Don't have to worry about that. But when it comes to brood cells, you want them to look dry, not squidgy. Look great. Right, I'm happy with that. This colony's doing great. Push this forward. If you want bees to get out of the way, blow on them. I find it helps if you have minty fresh breath after brushing your teeth. For some reason they don't like mint being blown at them. Maybe it's cooler, I don't know. Let's move that out of the way. Right, that's me done at this apiary. I need to go to the other. space these out evenly. You can see the difference when you space them out evenly. You can see how much thicker the comb sticks out from the frame. That means when you get a knife, you can just lean against the frame, cut it, and you're cutting all the cappings off. It just makes things a lot faster. And the stage I am at the moment, I need speed over quantity of honey. Right. I hope you've enjoyed this short version of my long form content. If you're interested in seeing what else happened, then please feel free to go onto my page and have a look. Both videos, long form and short version, are released at the same time on a Thursday. If you did enjoy this video, please press the like button, and if you fancy sticking around and seeing what else happens, then I'd love for you to press subscribe. If not, I hope you have a very fantastic day, and I do hope to see you again soon. Bye.